Good evening, everyone. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening. It is July 8th, our regular council meeting. We have 4 councilors present. We'll be moving forward between now and November with just 4 councilors, as Bill Cole, I think, is currently in Arizona, having relocated. So it'll just be the 4 of us. But for our business, we have several minutes to approve. First, we have a public hearing from June 24th for the credit enhancement agreement for tax map 1, lot 33-1. I'll make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes for public hearing on June 24th, 2025 as written.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Good. All right, moving on to council meeting minutes from June 24th. I'm gonna go ahead and point out under new business number 3. This was our motion about the whether we were gonna purchase that piece of highway equipment, and it was voted down. So the language said in the minutes says it was voted 2-2 to approve, because the motion that was made was motion to approve, but our ordinance and our town charter indicates that it's if the town council vote is split evenly, it fails. So I'm going to just suggest that we add a sentence at the end of new business number 3 to just indicate that motion failed due to town charter or whatever. So I'm going to make a motion to adopt the town council meeting minutes from June 24th, 2025, as amended with the additional sentence on new business number 3 to indicate that the motion failed.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
One more correction.
Oh, yeah, so that's.
No, that's fine. Under unfinished business number 1, the motion was seconded by Councilor James and John was here. So we just need to double check who actually seconded that motion.
Which one was it?
Unfinished business number 1.
Oh, I'm looking at new business, sorry. Yeah, I don't know who that would have been, but.
I have shortcuts, I probably did the wrong, my apologies.
Okay. All right, so we have 2 amendments. 2 amendments. I could be really loud. 2 amendments, no. Hello? No.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, that works. Okay, now we're good. Okay. So. What? It's okay, we'll make it work. All right, so I'll make a motion to adopt the town council meeting minutes from June 24th, 2025 as amended, with the additional sentence on new business number 3, as well as the modification for removing Councilor names and putting in the appropriate person.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ryan, anything else I need for that? All right, all those in favor say aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Done.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. And then last, we have a minutes from the town council special meeting that was held on June 25th, 2025. I'll make a motion to adopt the special meeting minutes from June 25th, 2025 as written.
Second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Up next, we have the treasurer's warrants. I'll make a motion to sign the treasurer's warrant from June 30th, 2025 in the amount of $322,815.33.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor of signing the treasurer's warrant say aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Public comments. Is there anyone in the room that has any public comment? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, we'll close public comment. Thank you. And we'll move into unfinished business number one, town hall update. So both our unfinished business number one, we have no supporting facts. So town hall update, Tim. You got it.
So currently at this point, Old Point was here, the lift is out there, they had a crew here today that evaluating the outside of the building. They were here for 3-4 hours, I have not got the report back yet, they called, left a message, but we haven't connected. The other part is, there, because Charter Brothers came on a little late, but they're supposed to have the 95%, at the end of the month. They're probably, we're gonna need to extend that to the 95% presentation. It will either be first meeting in August or the first meeting in September. I'm hoping the first meeting in August, but just because they're a little behind where they just came on, so we're working on that. The last part is, the lawyers at Charter Brothers directly are working with Bill Saucier for our contract. The stickling points for me right now were our appeal process, make sure we have a good appeal process that we can have our say, because I had projects where we didn't have a good appeal process and lost it. The project has to have, the contract has to have called a GPM, guaranteed, or GMD, guaranteed maximum price. We gotta have that, and then, specific language on change work orders, how they'll be approved, how that's gonna get done and so forth, so. Right now, there, and then there are some other stuff that, Bill Saucier, or their assistant saw in the draft that they needed to put in, so right now they're working with Charter Brothers to get that, we hope to have that done by the next meeting, July. It's not holding us up, it's just stuff that gotta get, we gotta get it finalized before we get into the big project, to do that, so. With that, we met with Lassell Architects on picking some more design features. We had a meeting today. The issue for the items for today were their windows and the workstations in the clerk's office. And the windows, service windows, how those windows would be designed. Kind of the clerks, we worked on basically not the clerk's office interior, but the exterior of the cooling area. How that's gonna be for both security as well as presentation and shelves and so forth. They showed us the design for the windows, so the walls are gonna have an added insulation for the windowsills coming out. So there'll be some change design there, so we saw that. What else?
We've already picked the color schemes for the carpets and the accent walls that we're gonna have, so all the staff has picked everything, those are laid out in my office. If you wanted to come take a peek at them anytime. But the staff's having a lot of fun picking, blue, teal, green, and what color carpet to go with it, so. And the countertops have been picked for the kitchenettes, so every time they're bringing us, every week or every other week, depending on the schedules. We're picking another section and getting it down to the nitty-gritty of all those signs. Yeah.
And those colors, when we talk about teal, green, those on, that's not the base color is gray. So the top is gonna be like a grayish, and that is just little pieces.
Splashes.
It's yeah, it's backwards, it's kind of a hint put in there, so to speak, so. Everything's moving forward, as we're going right now, so that's a quick update as soon as the next big step would be the 95% presentation. You're out on the last council meeting of the month, so we're in August. So we're gonna try to roll it into the first council meeting. Peter was concerned because they couldn't make it. It was supposed to be the end of the month, 22nd of July. We can't do that. So I didn't think, it's not a big deal. The next step after we get the 95% presentation, we gotta bring it here in-house to Nick and Jenny. Code Fire has to look at it, make sure that it meets code standards, fire standards, ADA compliant. Then once they sign off on it, it'll go to the fire marshal office and that stuff. They have to look at it for the sprinkler conversion, the fire alarm stuff, all that stuff, as well as the ADA compliant. Then it comes back, and then at that point, we'll be ready to go boots on the ground. So that's the next process going forward.
Great. Anyone have any questions? Great, thank you for the update on town hall. Unfinished business number 2, we have transfer station update. New operational changes took effect with the transfer station July 1st and.
So, everything got put in, the new use compactor for the plastic and aluminum and glass got put in, and everything went off without a hitch this weekend. We had a lot of good comments, people seemed very happy, they figured out the flow of traffic. So what it used to be, if you came in, you parked the car, throw your MSW and then take all your recyclables, some of them would go, plastics and stuff would go down there, then cardboard, paper. So now they figured out, they can just pull in, they dump their MSW back up. We have parking spaces down by the compactor, they drive down, get out, throw their recyclables in, get in their car, please. And I've had 2 complaints on leaves, that's it. I've actually had more positive comments about people going over to Seth. Because it's open, wide open, like 6 acres, and people can bring their trailers in and spin around okay, and staff over there has been helping them dump leaves. And I've only had 1 complaint on ash, that's it. And it's just nothing we're gonna do with ash. I'm not gonna pay $2,000 every 2 weeks just to have an ash file sample for that smell. So everything went really well. We have the unfortunate piece was the seller left us 3 full cans that we have to get rid of. So we're working with Wind Waste to haul them. They kind of pulled out. Week short, didn't say anything, left us 3 full cans, but we'll make that work. We have the rotation cycle down, so Wind Waste will come on Mondays, every Monday, they're gonna dump all 3, the MSW, the cardboard, and the plastic and general, all 3 of those will go to Eco Maine, come back, and on Friday. We'll get it done twice, all the others are on call, so we're comfortable with that right now. So seems to be a great success, people are happy. I was on the transfer station on Saturday for a little while. Biggest question is, where does the stuff go? Is it really being recycled? I said, yes. So on August 16th, we have, Eco Maine coming. They'll be set up at the transfer station, 8 to noon? 8 to noon, where they'll be handing out pamphlets and information flyers and educating the people on recycling. And yes, all that stuff does get sorted, and Eco Maine has good contracts for recycling, so that's where we're at. So it's been a success. It went very smoothly. Even the staff said it's much smoother than they thought.
There's no complaints, been all good comments.
Yeah, so that's it now, Jeff.
Great, questions? Okay. We'll move into new business number 1, quick claim deed. So we have, map 002 lot 033-F, that has, all balances paid in full, and so, for the agreement, so now the appropriate action, I guess, would be for us to allow the town manager to sign a quick claim deed. Anything else that I need to add or anything to that?
This was a leftover foreclosure from a previous administration that we worked. Heather, Jen, and myself worked with people to pay off the loan, the notes that we didn't take their property. So it's all good. They got it paid. And just give it back to them.
Okay, I'll make a motion to allow the town manager to sign a quick claim deed for map 002 lot 033-F.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Melissa? Aye. John?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. New business number 2. Signing votes for the transfer station. Tim, I'll kind of let you.
It's exactly what the information sheet said. We struggled to find 3 quotes. We got 3 quotes finally. When they put the siding on the side of the building, they did T111, and on the back side, they only put 1 or 2 coats, so it's stained 30 years ago, and that's the sun side. And it's just, some places you can put your finger through the wall. There's nothing, it's degraded to hardly nothing. So that back wall would need a whole, needs to be all T111 sided again. And then we wanted to put metal siding on the side of the building just to prevent this from ever having to worry about this again. We got three prices, Precision Roofing was 35, Armor Exteriors out of Brunswick was 30,000, and Donnybrook Construction Company was 43.5. I don't have a preference,
Just some questions on, these funds, is this would, where would this be coming out of, I guess? Out of the, Public Works, no, this is transportation, this is.
Transfer Station Maintenance Fund.
Maintenance, okay, so it's not anything you would need a just budget on meeting for or anything,
No,
okay, this is just basically the bid process is kind of why this is coming for us.
right, well, cause two things, it's over $10,000 and this wasn't in the budget.
Yeah.
I say it wasn't in the budget, you know, we didn't budget it last year, so we have some leftover maintenance money from the transfer station from this previous year, right?
Right.
We have enough to do this project, that's, once it came up, I was like, well, that's, what we should do. Yes.
Does anyone have any questions?
Long overdue.
Have any of these companies tentatively suggested a start date of when they could possibly get into this, or is that still?
Well, we assume within 30 days, I would say.
Okay.
I was hoping the local contractor would be more competitive, but I always feel better using a local contractor, I honestly do. And if he was even in the 30s, I would recommend a local contractor.
And then my only other question is, by the contracts, Precision Roofing is going to replace all the rock plywood with the plywood on site. But Armor Exteriors is suggesting that if the existing T111 is rotted and cannot properly accept a nail, then it will be stripped and new sheathing will be installed prior, which means they're just hoping to overlay the existing of what's there. Am I understanding that correctly?
We have we already have all T111, so it's gonna go up on the backside.
Yeah.
There it is, how they looked at it, it's gonna get put on there, so.
T111, this is the siding.
Yeah,
Yeah. T111 is a very thin,
Thank you.
think of remember the old paneling from my house? It looks like that, but it's just not treated with color. It's very, and that's why I'm surprised it lasted 30 years. It's tough shape, but so that's gonna go up anyway, the back wall.
Yeah, so my question was, Tim, is where they said if the existing T111 is rotted, are they gonna expect to do a change order? If they end up, instead of just overlaying, if they're actually,
No, they're gonna put up a T111.
Okay.
They're gonna put that up, so it says,
On the second to last page of that code, it does say T111 installation, replace any rotted T111 with the same thickness.
so that's the whole backside,
right,
so they just gotta do that, that's included in the project.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that if wasn't going to be
Absolutely.
an add-on change order if they couldn't attach it to what's existing, so, okay.
Any other questions?
Sorry, just for clarity, I think I missed it in the first proposal, but the waste was explicitly called out on the second one, which kind of made me feel a little better, lower price, and they're taking the waste away from us. Did I understand that correctly? With Palmer, that they were taking. I'm not sure where it was, and I didn't see it on the first one, that was what, and I think on the second, on the third one, I saw that it was. The plan was just to leave it
Right,
here, so.
I know Precision Roofing has done a lot of work for us, and they always leave the site as they walk into it. So,
so there wouldn't be, there shouldn't be a lot of.
enough all job related, great, yep, right there.
On Harper, right?
Precision.
Yeah, Precision's there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Precision was the one I had this, so thank you.
Any other question? So it seems like you all are looking for us to, kind of pick one and provide some guidance for the town manager to.
Again, I couldn't justify it, but Donnybrook was a local contractor that we followed, we were hoping that we would be in the mid-30 range, could have used down. But beyond that, Precision Roofing really wasn't interested in this job and the original. So they had originally given us 35,000. Doesn't matter, Precision Roofing or Armor Exteriors, I guess. Makes sense to go with Armor Exteriors because over by 5,000.
All the same metal siding, so.
I was just gonna say, when you do three estimates, typically you go with the middle, like, that's where you kind of wanna land, but. With looking at the scope of services that both companies are looking to offer. Like with Armor Exteriors, a new door is included in the price with Precision Roofing. They're gonna charge an extra 800 if, a new door is needed, so. Honestly, I don't see a problem with going with the low bid here with Armor Exteriors.
Make the motion.
Let's do it.
Sure. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to authorize the town manager to, enter into a contract with Armor Exteriors for no more than $30,900 to complete the transfer station siding project.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Jeff?
Aye.
Melissa? Aye. John?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, that's all of our unfinished and new business and new business. Town manager report.
So Emery's Road finished a month and a half early and it came in under budget by around $30,000. So kudos to Jay and his crew, they worked out there, they worked long hours on hot days to get it all done as fast as possible. And the good news is, that people complaining, so that's exciting. The next big project for the crew is gonna be to build, so the two new compactors, or not new, but with the two recycled compactors back. It was the old green metal tin roof building, that structure had to come down because it wasn't safe. Old piping, old piped up building thing. And we're putting up just a pole barn, we call it, roof over. Carport. Thank you, just a carport over the roof so that they're out of the way. Police department didn't have any arrests or accidents, 130 traffic stops. National Night Out is gonna be Tuesday, August 5th, from 5 to 7 at the community center. They're interested in having a dump tank, and I know you folks wouldn't mind that I volunteered you to get a dump tank.
I will do it.
And I get right. I'll go first. Okay.
You're gonna look like Houdini if you go.
Okay. So I ain't gonna come up on mine. The fire department at night,
Sorry,
Yeah.
what's the location of where the
it's
national?
gonna
Night Out-
be right at the community center at the park over there, the vacant lot. With Mill Park, whatever that's called.
Shoot down, our treatment.
True that. Fire department had 19 calls in the last 2 weeks, 229 year to date. The used ambulance from Gunquick, they made us an offer. We'll be doing more with that once we get the formal offer here. I'll present it to you. It seems to be considerably under what they had originally told us they would do for us. We're waiting to see what the package, they said they'd probably throw some equipment on it. So I'm waiting to see what that's gonna look like, probably be by the end of the month, they said. Next, chief's goal is to have one transport capable ambulance by the end of this year. So one of the issues we had is in our current contract. That current service provider was supposed to provide us ambulance for Strawberry Festival. That did not happen, that was Nick and Katie. Brought their backup ambulance staff, so we staffed the ambulance. Last Thursday, there was a small fire at Berwick Estates Assisted Living Facility. The fire started in the bathroom exhaust fan. It was quickly extinguished. The faculty staff, along with police, fire, and EMS, did an exceptional job. They evacuated more than 30 elderly residents from the facility. Then they were all transported to the community center using MSA D35 buses. Until it was safe to return back that evening. Seven of them had to go to their assisted nursing center in Biddeford because they couldn't stay in that section. So great job, kudos to the fire department and the EMS, the police, they all did a great job. It was a hot day, they had the, foresight to get the buses there, get the elderly people on those buses, get them over to the community center out of the sun, hot. And I was right at 4:30 when traffic was at its height, so everybody did a good job.
That one right there with the buses, whose responsibility is that? Is it the towns and you were just made it seem like the fire department called the buses? Is that,
Yeah.
how does that happen?
It's part of their mutual aid agreement thing.
Okay,
They have it set up so that if they have a big disaster, that's in their emergency management planning piece, that they can get buses, and we also have CJ on standby. Just so happens CJ couldn't give us a bus that day, and the D35 brought through the whole. So,
thank you.
it's just a mutual aid thing where, because they just work together, it's all part of the emergency planning, so.
Awesome, thank you.
Code enforcement, Jenny's had 15 building permits. Year ending fiscal 25 with 181 building permits. We issued 3 plumbing permits, 2 certificates of occupancy, 27 inspections. He has 3 violations. The zoning board of appeals, the meeting scheduled for August 4th, 6 P M for Bathurst Properties LLC for appeal hearing. On the planning and economic development, Carlo's been following the 431 bills that passed the main house. Were signed into law this legislative session. Planning currently is summarizing the land use provisions impact on our local laws and procedures. So he's going through and we're picking out the ones that we think will impact our order. The post bus has lost federal funding and our Route 100 is proposed to be discontinued. Increased density without availability of public transportation will result in additional congestion. So that's just the bus that goes from Portsmouth and it was in the morning and then they change out 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think it was once in the morning, once in the afternoon, at the shipyard, I believe.
Yeah. So. And then, DeCarlo we've asked for updates about the intersection project, we've not heard back. Then the transfer station was the first week of single source recycling, and it seems to have been smooth, a lot of positive comments about the new process.
And the library, some of the June statistics, 2,523 people who visited the library in June. 2,809 items were borrowed and loaned throughout the month, and they had 26 programs with 575 people in attendance. 250 people signed up for the summer reading program, that's currently ongoing. And we have a new hire, her name is Alyssa Lapierre. She will be starting next week as the adult services librarian to cover Lorena's position. Recreation, summer camp is in full swing. They've been to Funtown on July 2nd. This week, Wandering Wednesday, we'll take them to Fort Foster. And next week, they'll be visiting Stone Zoo. This was the 36th year of the Strawberry Run, and it was another great one despite a little bit of rain in the morning. Senior program was actually closed July 4th week. They will have a senior luncheon on July 16th, and it's National Hot Dog Day, so we guess that they're having for lunch. Assessing, all the map changes that were effective as of April 1st have been sent to CIA. They're the company who takes care of all of our new mapping, and those should be completed and back up to us by the end of summer. Middle of July, we do expect to have preliminary values for all the new homes after the reevaluation, and letters will be sent to all the property owners at that time. The town clerk wants to remind everybody that nomination papers for the town, for this town council and the school will be available August 4th, and they're due back into the clerk's office by September 11th. Finance benefits, the tax club letters will be sent out this week. On the evening of June 30th, Monday, we had to close out the year, close out the cash drawers and everything. So Linda came back after her golfing at 7 o'clock. She counted all the drawers, called me at 8 o'clock at night when she was done doing her thing, and I flipped the year But everyone could come in on Tuesday morning at the end of the new fiscal year and that went off without a hitch. It was the first time we did it with the upgraded software, so I was glad to see it went so smoothly as it has in the past. For the next couple months, as you know, you'll start seeing dual check runs for the dual years, fiscal closing out fiscal 25 and then new one for fiscal 26. The next few months, there'll be a lot of work happening in the finance office, getting ready for our audit, which has been scheduled for the week of September 22nd. Just another little story that happened yesterday. Erin has already shown how helpful she is gonna be to all of us. Erin, yes, Erin can. Dawn got a call from Brittany Spencer up here. She was here up the third floor by herself. Texted Dawn, can you come up here, kind of SOS kind of thing. So Dawn grabbed me on the way and came up here. And the gentleman was very happy, very drunk, filling out planning board applications and started singing to us. It was interesting. And we tried to, shoo him away once he was done the application and whatnot. And I thought, this is a good time for me to call Erin. So I came in here, called her, and she was here within 5 minutes. And she just scooped him up and he listened to her and they were out of the building within a minute of her being here. It was great. She took him out to one of the chairs and they just talked. She tried to give him some help. She wasn't able to get real far, but she's gonna stay in contact with him and follow up. So, yeah, it was good to have that person right on call.
So the administration office for my end, we had a meeting with myself, Nick, Katie, Jen, and York Ambulance Service, the current contract, how to amend that contract. Had a meeting with a citizen who had a complaint about Academy Street parking. Wondering if we could either make it one way or the parking sign one way. Explained how that would work and not work. Charter Brothers contract, I discussed with you folks. Now we're assessing on Berwick Academy status. We're having a problem. Originally, so the status of Berwick Academy is exempt because of our septic diesel bank. In order for her to do that within this tax evaluation, she needs to get that current. We have nothing in the file. In 1979, they refused to do anything. And so in 1979 till today, we don't have anything that shows that value of the buildings, why they're exempt. And we had originally set up a meeting with Berwick Academy, and that went well. And we had on June 5th, I think it was, they had said, come on over, we'll go through. But Verner and KIT, and Verner and KIT got there, they said, no. Find a lawyer and allow them to. So now our lawyers have got involved with their lawyers and. So go to mediation and see what we can find out, and see how we can figure out what's happened and. Hopefully get this accomplished. The problem could arise, and for some reason, we can't get that done. Verner potentially could have to deny their exempt status, which means then we'd have to tax them. All they're building a problem. Include that in our taxable valuation, that you know where you set up. Then if they were to go back, then when tax exempt status, which they don't probably do, then we would have to refund, would have set the mill rate all over. We're working to try to get this. Verner's done a great job. So now that the attorneys are involved, we're waiting to see. We've got a meeting coming up this next week.
This Thursday.
This Thursday. Again, I had one complaint on the ashes, and that's it. 2 complaints on the leaves, and that's that. We received lots of compliments about the single-use recycling, like that. And several compliments about how much easier it is to dispose of leaves and grass, like we said. People are complimenting on how the better flow of transfer station, the fact that they actually believe that our recycling is what you recycle out and not dumped into the landfill. So forth. So the last piece I have is, I'm gonna be working on. So this issue that Jen brought up is an issue that we've seen rising in the last 3 to 4 months here at the town office. And it's disrespect of the town staff, probably myself, people disrespecting clerk's office, Dawn. Staff assessing code, it's just people are being rude, disrespectful. Jade and all the town staff. So I started to figure out, try to do research, because it's very frustrating for us, deciding for the employees. We try to be good customer service, try to help people, but some people come in here and they're loud, they're boisterous, they're rude, they swear at us. Call people names, don't wanna hear the answers. And so I started to call around and I got to Mike Sullivan and Elliot. Mike said, since we had the same problem in Elliot. And since 2022, we put in a visitor code of conduct. And he said it was a simple thing that the town select board passed. And he said it's been upheld twice in court. They were able to trespass people from the town of Elliot rather, who were nuisance problems. He said when people come in, if they start getting loud, boisterous, start swearing or getting on it, we hand them this paper and it says right in there. That if, you know, you continue to act this action, we can kick you out and then we can trespass you if we need to. And I said, so how does that work with, if someone got trespassed? He said when they have to register their cars or vote, then they have to get a police escort to come in the building. He said, solve that problem. So we haven't had it. And I hate to tell you this, but this instance has occurred and we're getting more and more of it bubbling up. So I'm gonna create that draft and I'll put it in front of you to see if you guys would approve that. It's nothing bad. It just simply follows the guidelines of what we already have in our code of conduct, that we applicable to all our employees, just to tell the public same thing. You don't have the right to disrespect us. You don't have the right to come in here and yell and swear at us. The way you're trying to do customer service, we'll gladly work with you in all conditions and all stuff. But if you don't like the answer no, because we can't build a house right next door to your neighbor's house because of the property line. Yelling and swearing, that's the health situation. And there's been cases where people have gotten loud in the clerk's office and there are people standing in line. That, you know, just, we gotta do something to help control it, because it's getting out of control. You wanna add to that?
There was one time Cheyenne and I ended up on Facebook, because I did diffuse the situation.
And we gotta have something to be able to give us the ability to say, okay. So that's something we're gonna work on, that's all I have.
Thank you. We're now at council comment.
Again, thank you to the town staff everywhere, working through what we've worked through. Jay, transfer station. I wish Jay was a week and a half later, so we didn't have the 4th of July traffic out there. Although we would have a lot of trucks, campers turning around, but other than that, you guys are doing a fantastic job, those guys out. Thank you to everybody that's in.
I know there's a lot of things, and this is, it runs through my head. Did we approve like I thought that we did something to like a communications or I forget what it was called, like it was a communications audit or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
That's the word.
I didn't know if we've seen it or not. and I-
no, it's coming on your next agenda, we've been so busy with all the other stuff, I just haven't had a chance, it's coming,
Absolutely, okay.
so.
It had come up in a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and then I'm like, geez, I'm seeing contacts all over the place, and I forgot to ask that, so I just wanted to.
Yeah, we just haven't had the chance, we've been busy with other stuff, so we're kind of deciphering it ourselves, trying to figure out what's in there and. You know, so, yeah, it's already on the agenda for July 22nd meeting.
Fantastic. And that was the question I had, thank you.
Okay.
Just wondering if anytime in the near future, will we have any updates from the downtown revitalization implementation of the comprehensive plan,
Yeah,
committees?
yeah, as soon as the cow is on vacation, so he'll probably be at the next meeting, otherwise than that, he probably been here.
I just didn't want it to sit on the shelf, so just see, you
No, no,
know, how
yeah.
our groups were doing with that
Yeah,
stuff,
so
so.
he's working on stuff, he's working on low hanging fruit. And actually, we had met before he went on vacation. And I don't know which one, I think it's downtown revitalization plan, he said that you guys have checked off, we checked off a lot of boxes already. So, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll have him here on the 22nd for a report, please.
Well, thank you.
And the only thing I have is just, Thank you to the Public Works Department for getting Emery's Bridge back open. That has changed my family's life over the past few weeks. And then, also for the Strawberry Fest, we had tons of guys from the Public Works Department there, working the, the fire department fry station, I'll call it, and then a lot of guys from the police department there as well, and, it was rainy, but there were a lot of people there. It was a nice day, so, just thanks to everyone who showed up for that, and that's all that I have.
Madam Chair, future.
Second, all those in favor, say aye.
I
We are adjourned at 7:10.
Preston.